nectar of Guru-katha. Can you hear me okay?
Да, вас хорошо слышно.
Отлично. Харе
Great.
Кришна, дорогие преданные, мы
Hare
продолжаем
Krishna, dear devotees, we continue our celebration of the wonderful day of Vyasa Puja that is continuing. I made a message that we will be sharing very confidential stories, and all the devotees shared this news. But the person who was going to share this confidential story changed his mind or her mind and said that I'm sorry, but we will not have this story. So I didn't know how to solve this situation, and I put myself to speak and decided to myself tell a confidential story about Guru Maharaj. Let's go to the stories right now.
And our plan is to have family atmosphere, Guru-katha. This is not offering to a guru. This is a little bit different. This devotees sharing among themselves about the most intimate and secret parts as to how Guru Maharaj behaves. It cannot be told to Guru Maharaj at offerings, so it's very confidential. And it's also important, this Guru-katha. And this lack of formality, now we discussed this point when devotees are reading out their offerings, they're so much varied and sometimes different things happen. So we can hear that Guru Maharaj, I want to follow your lotus feet. And I understand that we can make a small offering, but it's not right because devotees will be offended that you misunderstood him. So we will not do it, but sometimes we have such points, some funny aspects, so we don't go after lotus feet. It's of course understandable that we don't step on his feet, but I'd like to tell a story. In the beginning, when we were just beginning Sankirtan, it was in Donetsk, and we distributed in this place where people are with hot tempered and it was multiplied by the 90s. At the beginning of the 90s, it was like very difficult 90s. You don't know what will happen. You open the door and you have no idea what will be going on. So once we came, and some firm, an unknown firm, because all firms are unknown, we just go somewhere, and then the devotee who was with me, he was accompanying me. He had a japa bead and he was shaking it, and he was chanting in ecstasy, in other words. And I opened the door, opened another door, and I just had a very difficult kick into my stomach. I couldn't take a breath inside. I lost all the books because I had nothing to breathe, and I understood I cannot pray to Krishna, neither to Lord Chaitanya nor to Lord Krishna. I want to say something and I cannot. Now some seconds are coming by, and these people who set me off my feet, they took out arms and wanted to take more belligerent actions. And then I remembered about Guru Maharaj. It wasn't a prayer, it was not some kind of not formality for sure. And I just imagined that. And as soon as I imagined him, I was taken from the floor. At least I was not lying on the ground. And they are telling me, "So tell me who you have with you." I have some man sitting with a gun. So they looked out of the window and saw a devotee who was shaking japa and moving a hand as very enthusiastically. And I remembered Guru Maharaj, and I think that he saved me in the beginning, and I think he will save me again. And when I could speak, I told what I want from them, and I asked for donation. I told if you're very busy, they were waiting for someone, they were about to be attacked, and that exact moment you came. So They gave some donations, and I left some books, and that's how it happened. So Guru Maharaj is not just a prayer, and even when we think of him, when we imagine him, maybe someone will, it will come in handy for him when he is unable to pray for some reason, but he can imagine. And my mind was engaged. I thought, I cannot do it any longer. I cannot pray, and it will be the end of me. But my mind was engaged with some illusory things. But the same image, in fact, it is a mercy. It's not my efforts in this instance. It's not sadhaka's efforts, but it's the mercy of Guru Maharaj. It comes and protects. And we must be ready to accept this mercy because it can pass us by and we will never be able to keep it. And another moment is when Guru Maharaj was speaking to different devotees. For example, Bhaktivinoda Maharaj to his disciples, he said, I would not like to put my smiling picture on altars because when you pay obeisances, then you look up and you see that there is a smiling picture at you, and you think, my guru was happy with me, and now is happy with me. That is, it's not exactly what I want.
Он тоже по-разному со всеми общается, поскольку он видит, он вглубь, он видит сердце ученика, и поэтому ученик как на ладони. Неважно, что он делает, о чем он.
Guru Maharaj sees the disciple as he is, just like kids. For example, a kid stolen a sweet. Parents prohibit him to take sweets, but they have eaten this sweet that they've stolen, and all their mouth is in chocolate or in sweet. And parents ask, have you eaten this candy? And the child says, no. The same way with disciples. Your guru asks what? And he sees what's inside you, what you are thinking about. And that is why he treats everyone differently. And I'd like to give an example that when Guru Maharaj came, it was I think it was first time he came here, or one of the first times. He entered the room, we prepared for him, we brought in his luggage and left him alone, and I also stayed. And I thought I need to do something special. And there was some milk there. I don't know why devotees decided to offer Guru Maharaj after his trip. When he arrived, some milk. It was standing there on the table, and I also put his laptop on the table. I opened his laptop and there was milk standing there, and as usually it happens, if you have a bread and the butter, it falls on the butter on the floor. So, and I spilled the milk, and at that moment Maharaj just turned away, and I spilled the milk on his computer. I started wiping it out off, and I thought that it might uh, break down because of the liquid. And now the important point that I noticed, Guru Maharaj, he didn't get angry, he wasn't screaming at me, he wasn't talking in high voice. He was calm and smiling. He didn't reproach me. And he said, just put it here, and you are free to go. And I thought, yes, that's it. It was the first moments of me seeing how he talks to beginner, neophyte disciples. But then, after many years passed, I was meeting him. I was thinking, how am I supposed to please my guru? I thought maybe I should go to Sankirtana. So I gave everything up and went to book distribution. So I came to some office. I was hoping to please my Guru Maharaj by distributing books. It was so hard to sell a set of books there, very unusually hard. And I was telling them, it's a blessing. Just take this set of books. You will prosper thanks to it. It's a divine energy. Everything is going to be fine and well for you. So I came back, and Guru Maharaj was so unhappy with me because I was temple president in Donetsk at that time, and I didn't arrange that the ice would be sanded, so he slipped and fell. He didn't tell anyone. He waited until I came, and he said, "You need to listen. I will leave my sword in." I didn't really understand what did he mean, but he meant that he was not going to say anything harsh to me, but he meant that you did not fulfill your duty. And then I realized what it means that I will leave my sword in. I just don't wish anyone, any of the disciples, to see the sword out. Anyway, this is what I saw. One more thing, just 1 minute. It will take just 1 minute. Maharaj left that time, and in a few days, I went back to the same office and the same company, and I saw an amazing scene. The building was burnt down to the ground. I was wondering what had happened, and some neighboring companies' offices um, that were close by, they said that there was a huge fire, self-inflicted, and everything burnt down. And I thought that was, that my blessing that they will prosper just worked for them. And I thought that it is the Guru's mercy and mercy of Guru from above, because Sankirtana has no sense if you are not in parampara. You should be in parampara. One more thing in relation to this. When Guru Maharaj came to Bigavaya in Moscow, and he asked his disciples, "How are you doing?" And sometimes it happens that disciples, they forget. They talk to each other, and one says to another, "How are you?" And he says, "I'm in Maya." And this devotee gave the same answer to Guru Maharaj, "I'm in Maya." You should never answer, a disciple should never give this answer to his spiritual master. You should make more effort. Say at least, "I don't want to be in Maya." At least imply that you don't want to be there. Otherwise, you are happily informing your Guru Maharaj that you are in Maya. And when Maharaj heard this reply from his disciple, he said, "Oh, you are in Maya, then come with me." And he took him downstairs where there were fewer people, took his danda with him, took him outside, looked around if there was anyone, and hit him on the back with his danda. "Are you still in Maya or not?" And this devotee, he never expected this. His attitude changed completely. He was silent because he didn't expect this, and that was not, a simple thing to endure. Some devotees in the West call Guru a whip. Sometimes when a guru punishes a disciple, he is in good mood because he is in ecstasy. So Guru Maharaj hit him once again, and some devotees came, and they were, with white envy, asking, "Oh, we would like to get such a mercy too." We remember that Lord Nityananda was giving mercy in different ways, with prasadam, with sankirtana, and sometimes by hitting. So this danda, this cane, gave him the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. And Guru Maharaj approaches, treats everyone in a different way. When he takes this sword out, once he called for me and said, and he's smiling, so I think everything's fine. And he says, "You listen carefully. Many Bridge are not happy with you. They are really not happy with you. And I was thinking in my mind, I don't know any Bridjabasis, but I know that I shouldn't say anything against Guru Maharaj's words, because I shouldn't argue with my Guru Maharaj, because this is the end of a disciple, just finished. That is why the situation was like that. I thought, okay, I was just kept silent, and I asked, what can I do? How can I correct this situation? And he said that my sister in God, she published a book, and we published it. But in fact, that's a very long story, and it's not relevant now. So we got a permission from Vrindavan Institute to publish the book, and we didn't know about any relationship between the publishing house and the Vrindavan Institute. We thought we had the publication, but then it turns out it was a little bit more complicated. And Guru Maharaj, he looks at his disciples this way. He sees them. If I can compare it to with senior devotees, he behaves like that. For example, during the online meeting, when the senior devotee, a translator, asks, the internet is down, and Guru Maharaj asks, are you in ecstasy? And the disciple says, no, no, I'm talking about Sarvagya Prabhu, for example. This is how he trains senior, because you are to blame automatically. But of course, that is why I'm not going to waste any more of your time. I would like to introduce one mother, Mataji. Since the beginning of the 90s, she's been distributing books. She's doing this even now. She joined Krishna consciousness in an unusual way. It wasn't Donetsk, and devotee announced that, make an announcement on the Sunday program that Srila Niranjana Swami uh, wants that we have Vaishnavi ashram for Matajis here in Donetsk. And he makes an announcement that we have a blessing of Niranjana Swami, and we have 3 Matajis who are ready to live in this Brahmacharini ashram. And this Mataji was one of those 3. But the fact is that not only they were not going to live there, they were not even aware that they were supposed to live in this ashram. So he makes this announcement, then he turns to these 3 ladies and says, these are our lovely birds, first birds of the Brahmacharini ashrams, and these Matajis are looking around and looking for somebody else, and then they realize it is them. So it is them. Those 3 ladies are them. So that was the situation, but they accepted it. But the thing is that they were newcomers. They didn't really know what is what yet in Krishna consciousness. One of them quit her work to start living in this ashram. They just accepted it. They started living in ashram, and there were so many unusual stories there. They had a tape recorder, and this tape recorder, at the end of the tape, after Gurvashtaka, there was a lecture, how to surrender. And it all is about surrendering. And then they said, probably we were kidnapped and put into this room. I don't know what to do. But in fact, later on, they got this mercy and realization. And there were 3 saris presented to them. And so there were good things about that. But so the thing is that when these ladies realized how merciful Niranjana Swami is and got his mercy, they really surrendered. So one of these early birds is going to speak now. She never stops preaching. She's very active and energetic. Hare Krishna. Can I start? Indulekha Devidasi. Thank you so much, Abhinanda Prabhu, for giving such a wonderful presentation. Yes, it was interesting stories that you've told. And of course, as everyone says, I don't see these qualities in myself, so I'm grateful for you seeing these qualities in me. Because they say that a saintly person, even everywhere, can, even in the dirt, can find gold. Please give me your blessing, though I would have the same quality. So I don't want to take a lot of time. I will start with my story. I just thought that the best way is to tell you the story which can glorify at the same time the Guru Maharaj and other devotees, to give more, to get more mercy. It was, I don't really remember, maybe 7 or 8 years ago, me and my daughter came, and just to tell you, uh, okay, just a side note, I'd like at first to tell you it's not really related to Guru Maharaj, but then later on you will understand why. So we came about the 8th of March, on the 8th of March to Mainpur for Gaura Purnima. So we immediately went to Radha Mandapa. And when we came to the deities, of course, we bowed down. We were so happy. Just imagine you haven't seen Mainpur for a year and you came and you come to the deities and you have this amazing feeling. At last I have that darshan. You bow down, but the most amazing thing is when I bowed down, when I got up and looked at them, I was shocked. I was amazed because I don't feel them. I don't see them, as if they are not there, as if there are only just statues and I don't see the deity. I was wondering what was happening, what was going on. I started really praying really hard. Dear Guru Maharaj, please help me to understand. Why cannot I get the darshan of the deities? And for some time I was praying, having no idea where the Lord is. And then all of a sudden, as if there was, like something shoot in my head. I don't want, I'm sorry if this sounds too many esoteric or sentimental, please forgive me. And as at some point, as if I heard that my prayers were answered. And I heard Mataji Abhiyarchi, and at that time she was sick with cancer. I had no idea then. And so I started praying for her, and I saw the deity, I saw the Lord there. So the Lord answered my prayers. And then when I just left the temple room, I saw um, a small cycle, bicycle, and Rajakumar was riding it. The one that is living now with Guru Maharaj. So Rajakumar is driving this bike, small bike, very shaky one, and he's smiling in a strange way to me. And then I noticed the main thing that behind Rajakumar there is a big person on this tiny bike, uh, sitting on the side, and that was Guru Maharaj. He was sitting on this small bike to the side, shaken on all those bumpy roads, and I felt connection. Pray Avyarchi and Guru Maharaj appears. So, and then I called Nandaranjani, a close friend of Avyarchi, who takes care about her, and she is also my close friend. I'm very happy about that. And I asked her, what happened to Avyarchi? And she says that Avyarchi today in the morning fell into coma, and now she is probably maybe leaving her body. Please come. And I immediately understood that Guru Maharaj was going to visit her. And the thing is that Maharaj was having breakfast, and he just ate a few spoons when he got a call that Mataji Avyarchi is probably leaving her body. So he just left it as it is. He didn't finish his breakfast, and he the only thing he had was this small bike. So he didn't wait for a car. Uh, they just took this bike, and you know that he has back problems. So it was terrible, and for his kidneys it was also terrible. And the road was so bumpy. Even now, and now the road is better. When you drive on a bike on this road, it just shakes you inside out. Just it was a really a feat from Guru Maharaj to drive this bike on that road. So I came back, and Guru Maharaj was already there. He was sitting close to Abhyarchi. Her bed was at the window. She was unconscious, and Guru Maharaj was sitting right next to her, beside her, and he already chanted japa to her ear. She was unconscious. She didn't respond in any way, but Guru Maharaj was talking to her. He was telling her, he was preaching to her, explaining something, and he was talking very, in a very low voice, so nobody would hear what he was saying. Then he was chanting japa, and then he was reading Bhagavatam for her, and all devotees around. And he came at 7 a.m. and he stayed there till after lunch. Devotees made him to go and have lunch because Maharaj, you must take lunch. You must be sitting in one place for a long time. But he still was sitting there saying, I will be here. I'm not going to leave. No problem. And he stayed there up to 7 p.m. He was there sitting beside her for 12 hours. And we know that the Guru Maharaj needs to have a break from sitting every 20 minutes. And devotees just couldn't tolerate that. They started begging, Maharaj, we beg you, please go and have some prasadam. And he said, okay, but on one condition. If there will be a nurse now to call a nurse and to check if when will she be leaving her body. After the nurse checked her pulse, she said, no, she'll stay with us till morning. And only then Guru Maharaj believed it, and he left to have some prasadam. Before he left, there's one important thing happened. At some point, Guru Maharaj left the room. We were inside also. And there were two groups of devotees. One group was praying for Vyarchi to come, to stay here and continue living. But from medical point of view, it was almost impossible, not possible. And the other group of devotees thought that they should pray so that Krishna would accept her. And they were saying that Guru Maharaj is chanting japa to Avyarchi's ear. He is saying farewell to her. We should pray. And I was in the first group. I prayed for her to stay, and I asked Guru Maharaj, Maharaj, what should we do? Because we should be unified in our prayer, within one prayer, come together, and it will be for the benefit of our Vyarchi. What should we do? What should we pray for? It was a very complicated situations. And Guru Maharaj, he thought for a little and then reflected for a little, and then he said, in fact, it doesn't matter whether she stays or leaves, there's no difference because the level of your consciousness is so high that for her to stay or to leave will be the same. And I realized what an elevated soul she was. And of course, I ran and grabbed her feet. And I know that if she were conscious, she would never allow me to do that. And when Guru Maharaj left to have some rest, then Jananivasu or somebody else came and they started chanting, reading Srimad Bhagavatam to her. And Avyarchi was unconscious, but we could still feel her presence. And I said, Avyarchi, it is such a moment. Srimad Bhagavatam is read and everything. And she left right at that moment. We called Guru Maharaj right away, told him that she left, and he was there right away. He was able to take some rest. He came back, and the most amazing thing was his reaction. I had no idea how it usually happens, but I'm gonna tell you what happened. And his reaction when he entered was he was so happy, he was blissful, was happy, he was uh, full of light and happiness. He said he was she cheated me. He said she cheated me. She deceived me. And he was unconscious, though she was unconscious, Guru Maharaj was actively communicating to her. Guru Maharaj wanted to stay beside her, to serve her till the last moment, to give her everything, to do everything possible for her. And she wanted to serve Guru Maharaj so that he could have some rest, take some prasadam. She wanted to serve him. He wanted to serve her. Guru Maharaj surrendered. And that is why he was saying, she cheated me. She cheated me because she managed to serve him at the very end. And it was a nectarian competition who will serve whom. And when all that happens, the ceremony and everything, and Maharaj was there till the last moment, until the fire burned down. He was there when they carried the body to Ganga. He was there when the fire was burning till the last moment. He sang kirtan ceaselessly, no matter his health condition, and he was inspiring everyone. And it was uncomparable. This experience was uh, unparalleled. It was an
It can
amazing
only be
departure.
compared with Bhishma Deva. Maybe I'm incompetent to tell you about that, but I think that there are a lot of stories to be told. Hare Krishna, thank you very much. Sorry if I took extra time. I just wanted to tell you about that. Nectar cannot be discussed, it should be honored. So only demons keep silent. So I didn't want to interrupt you. It's a fun moment. Another moment for those who don't have enough time. I know that there are such devotees who are waiting when your turn will be, and the turn is coming and not, and then you are transferred. No, no, no. That's why senior devotees, Guru Maharaj's disciples, have initiative to have regular Guru-katha. So please don't be afraid. Please leave the stories to tell, and there will be a time when it can be done. And you are to participate for sure. So thank you very much for double patience. Wait and not to take the floor. It also takes patience. But we have everything going on according to the schedule. Thank you very much for your double patience. If the leader is not here, we will be going on. We can do it non-stop. The leader is here in place, the person to lead this event. But I was told that Guru-katha will be 10 minutes longer. It's the way it is. No, 10 minutes already over. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for this nectar. Devotees are sharing. And it's a very cool idea that you're organizing that on a regular basis.